my perspective. They don't deserve me. They don't deserve access to my channel. When given it, they're unthankful and ungrateful, and they hate on me out of jealousy and envy. Why would I continue to not draw a boundary with those type of people in my area? You want it over here in other places? I'll go along with it at times and play the game. My area? Absolutely not. You don't get that, and you don't deserve that. Sorry, I have a standard for myself and the audience.
Come on, Special K, man. I don't need your negative comments in chat either. And I said before, I'll be moderating the chat from now on. So you guys can go ahead and be all negative. I'm gonna fucking zap you.
Yeah, this is the point. They're saying I'm jeopardizing your channel when they only show up to hate on me.
Well,
how am I jeopardizing OTW's channel? He's not getting more than 40 live viewers. He's not getting any money regularly.
Right.
So what am I jeopardizing? He's open to sit there in silence at times and cover these effeminate males. What am I jeopardizing? I don't do any of that.
Right. And you know what? This is the trap that I've set, because I know that when for some reason, when I cover Donut, it triggers, like, everybody wants to come up for some reason, and nobody wants to play Donut. It's kind of like, oh yeah, this is the great moment. Like, I had nothing happening. So I says, okay, so let's do the Donut thing, because that's when it gets people triggered, and, you know, it got the conversation going. It actually has us having the real conversation about what's actually important and what's not. You know, we're all up here now discussing this, and we're also trying to fucking explain to Snafu that you gotta, you know, change your fucking targets and leave them where they're at. Like, whoever you're chasing, chase them, but stop targeting the people in the community for no reason. You don't need to go after Paul. Paul's not supporting any of what you're going after. Stop making false assumptions about everybody, okay? And you were here earlier. You were giving the fucking good presentation. You were showing us optics about Queen Stephen, whatever. You know, that those things I can tolerate, but it's the attacks and the fucking interruptions and you know, eventually we got to get past that. If this, I intend for this broadcast to actually get better. So for that, there needs to be exchange and conversations, and they have to be
honest,
relevant,
and honest.
Honest, yes.
Let's be honest. Most of the people here in chat or not have no idea what it's like to run their own program anywhere in life, let alone everywhere in life, to some level of success. Most of the people in chat couldn't run a fucking lemonade stand if you gave it to them to some kind of successful outcome. So why would I listen for 3 seconds? Like, this is where you got to know who you are and where you're at and be honest with yourself. Why would someone who's experienced multiple successful channels with some kind of content, with who and what I am and character and actual results, listen to anyone with a nameless, faceless presentment in chat who couldn't run a lemonade stand? I'd be the biggest fucking moron ever. So I'm going to restream Illuma Tranny on my channel when he can't get more than 15 live viewers and rambles and rants about me obsessively. I bring him up enough as it is. Once or twice a day on my broadcast, I bring up Slackcot, sometimes Snafu, sometimes Illuma Tranny. 3/4 of my audience doesn't even go to check out who these people are. And when they do, they don't stay. But I'm going to use my platform to restream them. Yeah, if I wanted to destroy myself and what I have. I've done enough of that. They want me to do it more. They want me to go all the way. They want to see me one day with no more than 15 to 40 live viewers. Right? They want to see me with 400 views after the fact. They want to see me poor and broke and having to go back to working part-time. That's what the reality is.
Yeah, these people are completely demoralized, and they can't stand to see anybody not completely demoralized like that.
Timmy, you're not even a fucking content creator. Every one of us on this panel
has nothing to do with
every one of us.
That's not true. Doesn't mean
you can create content and avoid if no one watches it. Is it really content? It's like if a tree falls in the forest bit. Are you really creating content if you're not growing an audience? and you're not sustaining an audience, and no one gives you any value, and no one gets any value in their own life, and no one's life changes from witnessing you, are you really a content creator? Or are you a desperate, discontent user of the audience who's desperate to get more and have more, and it never happens?
Right. And Timmy has his form of an audience. You know, he does create content and he gets value from the content that he creates. And it's all done digitally, you know, on a computer, you know, and it's just not promoted on YouTube. You know, if you
I create content for inspired or inspiring empowered people or people who want that. I don't create content for the crop of loser failures who represent the majority. That's why I'm successful. I don't play to the lowest common denominator 85% of the time. I do a good 15%. So we're back to square one like we always are. The frauds in the chat are calling me a fraud. They never go away. They're parasitic, and they can't even talk, let alone have the balls to get up here and interact. But I'm supposed to create content for them, the ones who can't show up anywhere in their life to any kind of successful outcome? Yeah, right.
Rostin, tell her to shake her ass. I need to whack off. Shake your ass. Oh, what are you doing? She's about to shake.
Disregard that comment. It was out of place and not in the conversation.
Chucky, you're not getting it. They're not getting it. It doesn't matter what I do and talk about. I got you guys constantly thinking and feeling and talking about me. I won. Don't you get that? I go out my day every day. I don't give two thoughts to Chucky and Special K and all the rest. You guys are constantly thinking and feeling and talking about me.
Right. Negatively.
Who do you think has more power and value? Based on that dynamic. I don't even think of you guys, and you don't stop hating on me and talking about me. Who do you think has more power and value? Take a guess based on that dynamic. You prove it every day. If I didn't have power and value and an effect, you wouldn't even think of me and talk about me. Just like I don't think about you and talk about you because you're powerless and valueless. This isn't hard to figure out.
Okay, so if you're a loser, Paul, then how is Special K a winner? What have you won at?
She wants me to be a loser so she can keep company with me. That's all these people want. They want me to be a broke loser addict like I was for most of my life, like them, so they can feel a part of what I'm doing. And when I refuse to be that, they feel unequalized and inadequate. It's not my problem. It's a you problem. I've literally blocked all you slaves. I don't even see you everywhere else. So you come to these places so you could be seen and heard by me just to hate and bring up what's been going on for 3 years. You don't even exist to me. And it eats you up inside. You need a daddy. You need a therapist.
Right. And Special K, if you're not censored, it's because I'm allowing you to speak or
and look what she's done with it. You're another one, OTW. You unblock all these people. You let the parasites back in so they can scroll your chat and hate and drive away people who have power and value. It's ridiculous. Just so you don't get called biased. You should be biased. You shouldn't want loser toxic failures in your chat, gumming it up and scrolling it like mental patients.
See, this
Who
is
wants
the
that or
reason
needs that?
This is the reason why I've wanted, because I've been blamed for all kinds of things. So now that and also the mods have been blamed for all kinds of things. So now I'm going to take complete blame over everything I do now, so, because I'm the one who's going to like fucking kick people out because I'm done with the negativity myself, right? So
it's not negativity. It's reality or delusion. It's reality or delusion. Now he's making, again, false equivocations. I talk regularly about these other people because the power and value they have is the power to help us change and the value to make us realize where the actual value is at in our lives and with each other. So you're right. Slow State, Jack, and others have power and value by showing us how little power and value they have and reminding us how much we potentially have or are wasting. That's why I talk about them. They don't talk about me for the same reasons I talk about them. Can you get a clue, dunce? These are people who all started channels and mimicked my format because they saw so much power and value in me. Do you see me doing that back the other way? No, these folks are archetypal clowns to me. I wear them like finger puppets and play them against each other and myself to show a truth for everyone else. That's not the same reason they're talking about me. They're talking about me because they want what I have. You can't figure that out? All the people you just mentioned didn't have a channel till they showed up to mine. After I threw them out of my area for being desperate for attention, they all went to start channels to talk about me. And you want to make an equivalency to how I came into this and what I do to them starting channels because I told them not to be with me? How are we the same creature or walking the same life here? You can't figure this out, huh? It's too difficult for you to figure out?
Are you talking to me? Because I'm not sure.
No, I'm talking to whoever it applies to. Why is it folks are so bad with nuance and context? Why can they not distinguish?
Come the Paul show again, and we went off the
opposite. Folks distinguish the difference. Every one of these people, including Snafu, didn't have a channel or any kind of notoriety for anything till they met me and came on panel and then tried to use the audience to grift over to their area. All 3 to 4 people you just mentioned did the same pattern. But we're going to make equivocations. Who's the guy who didn't go anywhere else to try to grow his channel but was asked onto all the top channels because of his growth? Right. So we're living the antithetical. We're living from an inverse perspective. They've not grown at all as humans and are desperate to get growth on YouTube without growing as a human. I grew as a human beyond my obesity, and I grew on YouTube. Do you see the difference? It's almost a completely same dynamic.
Paul, now OTW might block me to protect you, but do you notice how everything
God protects
do you
me.
notice how we were talking about optics of Philadelphia and everything? And every time you come in, this becomes about you and how people have issues with you and how you're better than everyone else.
Because
like we were all talking about optics.
And can't stop.
Were you not
you
here?
All do it constantly and can't stop. You're fixated.
Right. Yeah, it's like were you not here for like what's going on in chat? We have to moderate chat because obviously people can't stay in a positive mind frame. And you just come up on panel and incarnate exactly what we're trying to get rid of in chat, and you're just doing the same thing. Why is it so important for y'all to be in that fucking mind frame? Because in my perspective, he's right. You understand? He's not the one attacking everybody in chat. He's the one getting the heat from chat, getting the heat from you, and is, just fucking not bending over and taking it like a bitch. That's all. It's all. This is how I'm seeing it.
Let's really be honest, Special K and all the rest. You know when you first got in the room with me that I'm more successful and intelligent than you. But then it irks you when it's pointed out, right? So you know it's true. It's why you all find your way to my area and stay there. Just like Slack, Cot, and Tommy and all the rest. That's why they all take my lingo. Slack Cot did a 20-minute broadcast yesterday and touched on 4 or 5 of my key points of what I speak about daily. And he remixed it for his own purposes. You guys all know I'm more intelligent than you and successful at what I do, at least being interesting and entertaining and talking truth to make people think or feel. So you'll copy it, you'll use it, you'll prove you know that till it's pointed out. Then your pride gets in the way. Where does that leave me exactly? I don't point this shit out till it has to be pointed out based on you wanting to be disingenuous and lie to yourself and everyone else. Most of these people on here are not very bright people because they don't use their intelligence the way that they could. They're too busy doing whatever else they're doing. You think you're a highly intelligent person, Snafu Snaps? You think you're highly communicative?
Yeah,
you're not.
I'm way more intelligent than you. I often more successful than you.
There's your pride and ego. The truth shows the opposite, but you just made the opposite statement. You're way more intelligent than me and successful, but it can't be proven or shown. It's a delusion.
Instead of coming up with an actual answer, you go directly to some kind of dick measuring contest.
It's a cope. He goes right to a cope fest. If we take a poll right now, 98% of this audience, including the people who hate me, are going to answer that I'm way more intelligent than you and successful on any metric. But you're going to say they're all culted ones, so you can cope again. We've been through all this. You already know at your core what the deal is. You don't have to admit it out loud because we all know it too. See how that works? These are people who all at first came to my life to ask me for help or advice on their shitty, fucked up lives till I gave it to them and talked truth. Then they got mad at me. It's a you problem, not me. I made it a me problem by interacting with you at all.
Sounds like a you problem. And you got OTW to back you up and backstage protect you.
Because
you can't talk
to back me up.
You can't talk when you're cornered. When you're cornered, because
I'm
again,
not.
this is a you, I.
I'm influential. I'm a leader of men at times, whether I want to be or not. That's what God put me in a position to do. You know it at your core, and you want to deny it because you don't like how it makes you feel. I don't give a fuck because you ain't going to change it.
And Paul, he just has showed me how to be a better moderator. I just moderate the panel and the conversation, and I'm just, being a better broadcaster in that sense. All right, Snafu. So don't try to think and say and conjecture and project that I'm protecting Paul. No, actually, I'm protecting the broadcast. I'm protecting the interests of the people that are watching and listening. That's what I'm protecting. So get that through your thick skull.
No, you're culted and you're protecting your daddy. It's simple.
You could say that.
We're really going to continue this every day, huh? We're really going to let this parasite, after 3 years, continue to snake around here and loop this garbage, along with the rest of them. The Special K's, the fucking Chucky loser. They're all the same loser, failure, broke, parasite addict.
Yeah. Get
I'm
over
once again, while claiming I'm more intelligent, showing I'm the biggest fool here, paradoxically, by continuing to even interact with or address looping, addictive, parasitic, broke slaves when I don't have to. I've left them all on the block and left them behind and created a whole new life for myself on 10 different levels. And we're back to square one every day on some level. It's incredible to me.
Right. And I'm going to say this to Snafu, dude, it'll be okay for the rest of the day. Thanks for bringing, their content and sharing your time with us. But I do believe that this conversation is not going to reach common ground at any point during this broadcast. So just come on over some other time. And that's pretty much all I can tell you, bro. I don't think I'm going to have you back up because there can't be any civil conversation to be happening here right now. And it's pretty obvious at this point.
It's not even not civil. It's not honest. It doesn't even have to be civil. Just fucking be honest.
Yeah. So anybody else have anything they'd like to add to that? I'm going to drop a link for anybody else who wants to join the show. If you want Snafu, you can go join everybody else in chat. Or in private, whatever. Stick around backstage. I'm not going to have you up anymore.
The sickest thing about all this is if he and others were just honest with themselves, that's the day we go to the next level. It's not cucking and submitting to me. It's just being honest with yourself and others about the truth. You don't even have to do it out loud. You could just go back to your hole and go, I'm going to do another broadcast today. Like last night, I tuned in. 2 people were watching your broadcast. You had 2 viewers. So like instead of just going, hey, I have little to no viewers, I got little to no action and energy and motion, my chat is dead, I'm poor and broke, and my content is always talking about other people. Like if you were just honest with yourself in private and accepted that, that'd be the day that it potentially changes. Because that'd be the day we could start to work together. I just start promoting you. I bring people over to your area. We talk about the truth. and law and legal and spiritual faith and new world order and whatever else, and stop with your inferiority complex trying to compete with someone you can't compete with. You do this with Marfugel, you do it with Monograph, you do it with everyone. I don't even mind that so much if you claim you have an actual argument that's truthful, once again, about the pedo pogo thing. You don't even have that. Because I'd respect it at that point. Okay, you're doing like I do. You turn down opportunities to speak the truth and to reveal and expose. Great. Till it works against you. And you can't work with anybody or find any success on your own because you can't make sense. And you can't be honest with yourself and others. Also, too, it'd be good if people start to have a good philosophical humor about themselves. And this includes me, because I do. Realize how ridiculous you are as a character on some level. The only reason people watch Tommy and Slackhot and you is because you're maniacs. There's a good contingent of my audience that watches me for the same reason. They think that I'm crazy. Okay, I've accepted that. I can own that position, and I know why. Geniuses are usually perceived as crazy when they're in their time, till it's realized what they're doing and how much power it has or value. That's been the progression, if you're wondering. You can go ask AI about its opinion of me 4 years ago and its opinion now based on the facts and the court records. We've done it. You guys are not that. No one's ever going to look at Slackcot Tommy and Snafu one day and go, oh my God, there was so much genius there and power and value, and we just missed it because of conventional norms. You're not that. I don't even want to be that or need to be that to recognize from a third-party perspective on some level, that's me. I've had dozens and hundreds of people come to me years later and go, you were onto something and it helped save my life because I got synchronicities from the universe that confirmed what you were saying. So I changed my life. That's not you.
You know how insane all this is? Like, this is the guy, Snaptar, that goes around and like, he acts like he's real concerned about like little children getting, taken and abused, when like the fucking antidote, the answer is strong fathers and strong men, and strong women picking strong men to protect said progeny, to protect those little ones. Like, the answer is right here, and yet he wants to go and reject that and externalize the problem. Which is just to me, it's funny. It's sad and funny that he doesn't even see that.
I don't believe
Isn't he an orphan himself?
Oh, go ahead.
I said, isn't he an orphan himself? Like, shouldn't he understand that perspective? I mean, orphans aren't like a vast majority, end up in the street selling either themselves or whatever and doing drugs and shit like that? Or is that a stereotype that I'm projecting?
I think he's so not resolute with himself that he can't possibly comprehend or agree that there is a personal solution or a sort of like on the ground solution for each of us to actually control our existence, because he's so not resolute and so just unresolved. It speaks perfectly to his character, to always externalize, to always blame outside, to never take accountability, to be a perpetual victim. And it's freeing in that sense, because it frees you from the shame and guilt, and it just puts the onus on something outside of his control.
Well, it also frees you from responsibility and having to actually make a change or bring a solution, which is the crux of why they all do this. It also, in his mind, is a good marketing strategy, like a politician. If I bring up women and children, people are immediately going to take an interest and think I'm a good guy.
Yeah,
it's such a pawn on, for his twisted game, for his projection that most likely is rooted in his early abuse as an orphan, him potentially being raped. Then if you won't indulge him in his self-indulgent projection of his abuse growing up, you're with the pedophiles, right?
Yeah.
How did Brian get kicked out?
Not allowed to come back. Technical difficulties. This is good stuff. Everyone in their own way. Opposames. The people in chat that don't fucking come out of their shell, they're the opposame of Snafu's retardedness. It's all about the middle ground, like Paul talks about, right?
A lot of these folks were abused. I mean, raise your hand if you weren't somewhat abused growing up. So they've developed inferiority complex and inadequacies and insecurities. And when they're called out, they get defensive and want to fight instead of acknowledge it and better it. So stop projecting superiority complex onto me because you live in inferiority complex. I could argue I come from the same position. The answer to it is not deluding and living in denial and coping. The answer is to do and be and have better, to re-verify to yourself that you're capable and competent and have potential. You're not interested in doing that. You just want to play the victim and project and reject onto others and cope.
And do dick measuring contests.
When you have no dick, it doesn't make any sense. You don't pull out a 3-incher at the party and say, let's compete. It just makes you look delusional and in denial. It's embarrassing.
You hear that, Brian?
My bad. I'm trying to get over to the park. More interactions on the street. Just kind of gathering my shit over here.
These are people who, by the way, even after they're timed out, won't leave. They don't even leave from where they're not wanted. Doesn't that prove everything I'm saying? The abused, low self-esteem, self-worth, denial, delusion, projection, codependency, inferiority, and insecurity. You guys every day go places you're not wanted or needed. And when you're told that, you stick around. Just like your fucking home life. You were showed and told by your own parents and your family and your government and everyone else, you were not really wanted or needed or valued. But you stick around and continue the cycle instead of breaking out, crashing and burning to rise higher like the phoenix. I guess most of you just haven't hit rock bottom yet. You're coasting along in obscurity and mundanity, if I'm not making up a word there.
They trap themselves in that mediocrity so that they never have to face that bottom because they're too cowardly to face it.
Timmy, this is a great question. Paulie boy, what makes you think you're so fucking wanted here? Everything? How do you not see that?
That's a stupid question, really.
These are folks who all have given me keys.
That.
Yeah, like they've all given me keys at one point and trusted me to co-create or co-host or like grow their situation. It's not even a question. Given the choice between us, you're like the Grinch. You know, I'm like the top mayor of Whoville.
These people
wouldn't cut you with a 10-foot pole in real life.
Yeah, and I just grabbed you by the neck and I bootied the fuck out. And if you want back in, be polite.
At least the Grinch had money. You guys are broke.
He had a cave, right? And a pet he took care of.
Yeah.
These are people. It's just this is why when you ask questions like that, you thought you were doing something there. You proved how delusional and inept you are and inane. You can't even read the room and see what's going on. These are people who, if I told them, and some of them they have said, if I said, hey, bro, come on over and live with me, they'd be right down there, like one of my extended family. You think they want to come live with you or interact with you, hater, loser, failure in the chat? Everything points out that I'm wanted here way more than you. Everything points out I'm needed here way more than the rest of you. But you can't see that. You can't realize that. It's uncomfortable to speak that truth out loud.
Hold on a second. We got a visitor. Hello.
I'm Paul and I run the show.
Oh, God.
He's a perfect example of all the rest we just spoke about. Loser, failure, hater who hangs around where he's not wanted or needed. Won't go away.
Man, how did Special K get back here?
Because these loser failures have 15 accounts, so they can go back to where they're not wanted and be seen and heard the way their mommy and daddy never saw and heard them. A lot of these folks need Freudian therapy, and they're not getting it, so they're getting worse and worse.
And she said before, "Oh, I'm here for OTW." Now, you know, OTW.
I'm here. I'm here.
I think you notice how she didn't say specifically why. Like, OTW, I think you're a badass at playing the fucking guitar, but I think you're a shit broadcaster. But like, I'm not gonna say I'm here to listen to like you on this broadcast, you know. So you know, why is she here for you? Is she really here for you? What does that even mean? When has she ever? She's never even been here talking to you. I've never seen that.
It's more. So it's more proof of the power gaming and disingenuousness. They all say the same thing. They're not here for OTW. These are selfish people. They're here because they need a place to hang out with other losers like them they find in the chat. The same reason they go to Slackcots and Slave Foos and Tommy and all the rest of them. These are people who live on the internet and they want a home for wayward souls, and you're providing that on some level. And when I won't identify with the problem, but identify with the solution, I'm the big bad wolf meanie who's breaking up the party. Big brother Paulie's breaking up the fun again because he's sick of looking at a bunch of disempowered loser failures going nowhere and projecting onto others. God bless me. I want better.
Bless Paul. Man, this is pathetic.
They all do that. Whatever channel I go to that they don't want me having an influence on, they say, I'm here for the host, to try to big up their ego to make them cut me out. It's such an obvious power play, and it makes you look like the piece of shit whore that you are, Special K, and we all can tell you're one by looking at you and listening to you and knowing where you live and what you're a part of. Get a clue. But by the way, I only know it because it lives in me. And I've been that most of my life. You're a low-life piece of shit, thieving, lying, power gaming piece of garbage. And until you have a revelation in trust, equity, faith, and truth, you're always going to be that. And you're always going to be surrounded by people who are like that. That's not me at this point.
Yeah, and essentially the direction I'm taking for the year of 2025. So I just essentially put a stop to it. That's all.
This is a person who met me doing heroin with her boyfriend online. I had to tell her not to do drugs on my platform. We're really going to like have this non-versation? Get your head out of your ass.
Bear Juice, I can't believe what happened to Kay. What the fuck?
What kind of a loser, failure, whore piece of shit stays with a low-life scumbag who gets her heroin? Two insecure, inferiority complex, low-value, low-power slaves who don't have any fucking worth for themselves. And when I try to speak some truth and potential and worth into your soul, you fucking reject it because you're the devil's child. And you're thrown in completely with it for the rest of your life.
That chick's directly from my neighborhood. So these are the broads that I had the pickings of growing up. Fucking Special Ks. No wonder why I didn't.
It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence her first interaction with you was hating on you for telling the truth and trying to do the right thing and finding yourself. Oh, O'Shea was supposed to double down with a bunch of wannabe gang member pussy scum who really weren't about it. And when they all got locked up, went to crying and begging. And he's supposed to lie for them, right? Because he realized at some point, what you haven't realized yet, that there was the fake version of him and there was the real version of him deep in his heart that he wasn't acknowledging. God forbid Brian O'Shea and others try to be good and great in this life and be successful instead of accept being a lying, low-life piece of shit addict scum. Imagine that.
Yep. No wonder I didn't I was a virgin till I was practically 35. These fucking types of broads roaming around.
Yeah, you know why, Brian O'Shea? Because you have the same walk as myself. We have a big heart, we truly care, and we have enough self-awareness to know we're fucked up and don't want to bring it to everyone else's life. So we try to stay to ourselves and we try to better ourselves, so we miss out on a lot of opportunities. Right? So it can be somewhat honorable and virtuous. It can be somewhat based in the same idea that sometimes you got to take a risk and step out of the box and develop yourself in the open. Sometimes you got to go to solitude, right? So yeah, when you're fearful and insecure and self-doubting and you know you're broken and need fixing, if you have any kind of empathy, you don't put yourself out there to date other people like I and Brian O'Shea did for 3/4 of our lives, knowing we're just going to fuck up their life and ours. Presuming anyone was even looking for us, which most of the time the women you want are not looking for you when you're an addict, lying, piece of trash scum. The woman you want is only going to come looking for you when you become who you're meant to be.
Yep. It's faith. It's you're not even like looking. You're just being and doing.
Hey, I just real quick came up to remind everybody that when Special K come up on Paul's channel the first time, Paul set her straight. She didn't like it, and ever since then, she's been, well, Special K.
JG Rocco, that's the thing. I don't know if you're saying that honestly or you're being ironic. I'm not the greatest. I've pursued greatness in the sense of information, understanding, application, and results, and I've been blessed to some degree to be a part of that experience you're speaking about down there. I'm honestly, at the core, I really would like others to have this experience with me or acknowledge it. If you're not going to have it with me, at least acknowledge it. If you can't acknowledge it, you're disingenuous and you're dishonorable to yourself and others and the truth. You have no respect for yourself or others or the truth. That's all this is. I'm bad and wrong because I'd like to see Special K, Slackcott, You Tell Me, and everyone else have their own fucking land. Be an American again. Stand on rights and freedoms. Possibly be able to co-create with me. I'm so bad and wrong for that I actually want community, and I'm doing it and living it and co-creating it while you're here hating. I'm so bad and wrong for that.
I keep telling you, Paul, you're so bad. You're such a bad person.
I'm not an alpha over anybody. I'm lucky if I can control myself and direct myself and get results, and I'm blessed when I do. Nobody's under me. We're all under God. Get a fucking clue.
We're kind of repeating ourselves. We said that like over an hour ago.
We're in the inevitable loop.
Hey, y'all. Just picked up some documents for my appeals and stuff. It's going to be bomb. Jahilians will be opening nationwide and international. And we're going to be able to go across county, state, and city lines to provide sacrament to and for the faithful. It's awesome. Historical. Sorry, y'all.
Congratulations.
I think I'm going to go ahead and ask the question I think we're all wondering. If you have to go do another jail bid, who's going to get to fuck your wife out of honor? Who do you trust and respect enough? And I'm thinking I know the answer. This is going to prove it once and for all. Who gets the honor and the blessing?
Conjugal visits. Conjugal visits.
Well, there you go. All right. I'm backing off. She said the magic words.
That's been a hell of a ride. It's going to be awesome because now we could help mom and pop businesses. And then I got my brief right here. and it's almost 100 pages. It's awesome. It just turned out really good. So I hope I win this. And hopefully I could talk to Paul and,
Right. So
look at
you
the
guys
cheese.
think in the chat and other places that I perceive Chris Rasta like I do the rest of you? You think I try to big brother him? You think I try to son him? You think I try to like talk to him any kind of way other than with respect? You think I try to alpha him and daddy him? No, I wouldn't, because he doesn't need it. Because he's a fucking man, if you haven't noticed.
Thank you, brother.
So stop it's not about thank you. It's the reality of what I perceive, right, wrong, or indifferent. So you get treated the way you need to be treated, not the way you want to be treated with me. And if you don't like that, don't deal with me. If you need a daddy, I'm a be one. If you need an equal partner in this walk, I'm a be one. If you need to see a child of God, I'm a be one.
Yeah, and most of them want to see an enemy.
Why am I always trying to spit game to chicks with dudes? Because I'm trying to test everybody on some level. I'm speaking honestly from my instinctual component, so I'm being real. Every man out there can respect it, whether they like it or not, because it lives in them. But guess what? When I do that, I indirectly test him and her. So that's good for you if you let it be. What if I'd have said, hey, who's going to fuck your wife when you go to jail? And she'd have been like, you, Paulie boy. What do you think he'd have then done and said after that? What do you think she'd have then done and said after that? Hello. That's what men do, stupid, simple motherfucker, is talk about their instincts and see where everybody's at, one way or the other. Then we get to learn or have the experience. You wouldn't know what that's like. You wouldn't know what real motherfuckers who keep it all the way tall hanging with each other are like, to where we could talk about anything and say anything. And if we're honorable, it don't fucking matter. It only is a problem when you're worried she's going to jump ship and jump on this dick, in which case you had a deeper problem already. That doesn't involve me.
Bam, bam, bam.
The same way I would think if I had a woman and brought her around other men, them saying, you know what, she's kind of attractive. I want to fuck on her and see where the fuck she's at with what she says back. I'm not upset about that. I thank you for that. Let's see where we're all at. Let's get it on the table. Only an insecure bitch-ass motherfucker's worried about that type of shit because you can't keep your home together. Men don't worry about that.
Hey,
Bars.
Watch this. Okay, how about you don't tell me what to do, whatever your name is. Fuck, der, face, whatever. How about that? Time you out. There we go. That didn't work. Oh shit. Wait.
Right, because OTW is such a desperate hoe for money that he needs $1 a minute to shut me up, right?
Right, yeah. So
okay, fine. You know what? Yeah, start paying him. Watch this. Go ahead, OTW. Throw me out in the back for the next hour so he can give you $60. Now he's got to stand on that or he's a fucking lying scum. Go ahead and throw me out, OTW. I want you to get the $60 for the next hour. I want to go.
I don't want $60. I want the interaction and the panel and what's going on now.
Oh, right. Interesting conversation or at least some kind of time filling and interaction. Right. That makes sense. So the $60 for the next hour isn't worth the long-term game. Right. That makes sense.
Worthless. You're worth more. You're worth more here than that $60 over the next hour. Even if you stay here for the next 5 minutes, you know.
Yeah, but you ain't paying him shit.
Right. Exactly. I'm actually getting his time, energy, attention for free. So I appreciate that. And I would not want to profit off of that if he's not making any money off of it. Right. That wouldn't be honorable or respectful, or I wouldn't have any integrity if I did such a thing.
Well, you should
Special Slave can't figure out that we still know that's her on an alternate account in chat. You're really not that bright at all. By the way, what makes you think I would give you babies? I wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. Wouldn't get anywhere near a slob like you.
Don't Don't pull your dick out if it's under 6 inches. I like that.
She's even proving she's a hoe in chat. I can give you babies, but not money. Yeah. What does one have to do with the other? What does me having a baby with somebody have to do with giving people money to do it? You don't even know what a woman is, separate from a whore. You just proved it. I have to pay a woman to have my child? What sense does that make? There's women out here that pay me to have my child. Are you insane? If Jennifer could get in a fucking time machine and go in reverse, she would do it. I'm sure. There's other women who've told me they want to have my children. So why would I pay a woman for the privilege and the benefit of carrying on these superior genetics, at least when it comes to you? All right, I'm done, OTW. We're in the inevitable loop. I'm feeding into it again, and folks are not being honest. Special Slave, if I emailed you and told you I'm coming down there to fuck on that dirty pussy, you'd throw that loser failure you're with to the side in 3 seconds. Who are you kidding? It would just never happen.
Yeah, don't get her hopes up.
What is it? Okay, Slafu, this is your last interaction, and then I'm promising myself that I'm going to disengage. Women have already paid me, and I haven't even fucked them. You're saying I'm reaching because no woman would ever pay me to have a baby with them. They've paid me to just talk. Are you fucking retarded?
Yes.
Right. There you go. Okay. It's me now. It's me. I'm doing it. There's an old saying in pimping, not that I'm one, because I'm not. I'm the opposite of that. I've had 4 women on the ground in my life. I don't claim to be that, right? But I understand power and value dynamics. A woman that'll pay you to talk will give you everything else, right? So she doesn't need to pay me to have a baby if she's just paying me to talk. That doesn't even require contact. You wouldn't know what that experience is like because you don't have any power and value when it comes to women. You're a simp trick loser failure. Sorry to have to spoil the fun.
All right, got to time this one out because they like spamming for some reason.
I actually asked the guy yesterday if he was retarded to his face. Guy ran my toe over with his car. Came out and apologized. I asked him right to his face, "Are you retarded?" He just nodded and said sorry.
I'm kind of retarded.
Yeah.
Popular word today. Will you get the fuck out of here with your stupid challenge? Good
challenge.
God. What the fuck kind of challenge?
The greatest part about him is he'll challenge me and then he will proceed to bring up pictures of him with another woman and claim that to be truth, that he pulled them and fucked them and left them. As if that's honorable. You guys don't even realize you're
a fucking picture
yourself.
of
This is the guy who says he's a Bible thumper and godly, and then he goes, "How many women have you pulled and fucked and left?" And I go, "Oh, none, because I'm not a piece of shit like you. Because I don't want to do more damage to women out here than men have already done, including their fathers." Yeah, you have no idea what it's like to be honorable in good faith without being a simp trick loser, migtard, because there's a middle ground again.
You got Truth or Cop challenging you, Snafu, down there. Just try not to be a retard for 1 whole day.
How about this? Let's challenge you to keep a woman around because you've been in the hospital for the last 3 years and not a damn woman shown up because they don't care if you die today. How about you show us you keeping a woman around who fucking values you and respects you? Because you beta boys can pull dumb bitches all day. What you can't do is keep them because they come up on something better like that. They go to Ross Dress for Less and bump into something better like that at the cashier counter.
hold on a second, Paul. You got to think about this, man. He's gonna, if he actually is able to do such a thing, he'd bring us something that looks like him. So are you really sure you want that?
Right. You have no idea what it's like to wake up and have a woman care for you and cook you food and bring it to you and like want to cater to your every whim because it makes her feel like a real woman. Not that I need that or even want that or even use that. You have no idea what that's like because you don't get any respect or honor from them.
Speaking Chinese to this guy.
You have no idea what it's like for your bitch to have equal, if not more than you do, and say, hey, go take out 50 G's if I need it and hand it over. Because she would already be asking to do that. Hey, what do you need? You have no idea what that's like. And I'm not saying I use that or abuse that at all. Because my response back is I need whatever I could create. Anything more than that I need is outside of my control, which makes me codependent. You don't know what that's like. At all, on any level. You have no idea what it's like to go to a box with a bitch and her to keep it tall and not rat on you and come out and do the paperwork and then sue a motherfucker and stand on something and get something done. You have no idea what any of these things are like because you deal with dumb, low-life bitches just like you, and they don't even stick around. And when they do stick around, they throw off the pH of the room because they got dirty, overly used pussy. Do we have to get into this?
Oh.
I don't think you want to get into this. Snafu's pulling classy women in his dreams.
Does it smell like anchovies?
Yeah, the waitress at the Red Robin, if he's lucky, who's got three work husbands, or he bumps into some charity case on the Section 8 food stamp line. Yeah, tell me about classy women who are down for their man in the cause. You wouldn't know it, so you can't talk about it. And if you have.
You muted yourself, Paul.
Snafu muted you.
Yeah, Snafu hacked the rugged. If you did ever get any of that, it's left you, just like Slackot's house is growing legs to walk away from it.
Imagine the poor broad that Snafu gaslights. Oh, I was on Alex Jones before. They're coming for us. I can see a couple of broken bitches fall for that.
Right. We could totally see like Mimi, Mimi's a fairly attractive, interesting, classy in her own way, right? A little bit rough around the edges in kind of the right ways. I could totally see Mimi or Jennifer or any of these sort of mature women dealing with a slug like Snafu. Other than them dropping off a food bank package to him behind Walmart. That's about it. That's as far as that goes. Snafu, do you want some more canned goods? I'm going to go back and massage Paulie Boy's nuts because he's using them so much. They're getting tired. You beta bitch.
Some diapers.
Here's some itch cream for your eczema skin. From being out in the elements constantly. Like Tommy. Tommy has such eczema, split end hair and skin. I'm just wandering around in desperation will do that to you.
Snafu needs a new bum hat.
He wears a bucket hat, literally a bucket as a hat.
Yeah. Kentucky Fried Chicken.
He shits in it when he's got a shit, and then he
puts it on his head. Yeah.
Do you notice, by the way, there's a pattern here? All the dumbest, brokest, loser failures all use the term you are instead of your. Anyone else notice that?
It's AI, Paul.
Yeah, they all use you, the letter U and the letter R for your because they're so fucking depleted and disintegrated and disempowered and dumbed down.
I was just gonna say the same thing. They're just like they're so
lazy
powerful.
and unresolved.
Yeah, they're
gonna save so much valuable time to do so much more in their life by not putting the extra 2 fucking letters in.
They can't be bothered.
It's the text virus.
Literally in one sentence, you can tell all about someone's personality. Someone who never grew up or got any wherewithal beyond middle school. Slow State does the UR, Special Slave, Snafu Slave. Every single one of you people that does you are instead of your shows exactly who and what you are at your core.
I'm glad I don't use it. But I could barely write anyway, so it's like... Is Chris talking to himself? I figured Chris was saying something to us, but nah.
They asked where the water bowl was for the dog, and I said,
No, you were talking behind our backs. We know it.
No,
You're bitching about us while we're on the broadcast, and you're bitching about us. Admit it.
No, I hope I never.
You and
and
Tommy and the rest better be lucky that none of us want to deal with the karma and feel guilty or go to jail, because it'd be like a hop, skip, and a jump for 2 or 3 of us to come over there, whoop your motherfucking ass, and get you to repeat online that you're a bitch. And that'll be our new content that we can restream over and over again and go back to our lives. But then you'll call the cops. You'll pop a bunch of shit online, and then you'll call the cops when shit goes down. And then I'll have to sit somewhere and cry about it, because at the core, I love you, and I care for you, and I'm almost disappointed in you, and I'm almost like sympathetic for you, how sick and twisted you are. And I see the slave in me that lives in you. So I even bond with you over it's trauma bonding. It really is. But yeah, that's what you guys should feel lucky about, because there's certain days, I got to tell you, I wake up and I go to listen to something, and then I feed into my impulse to come on here, and I watch you bitch ass motherfuckers pop and shit, and it goes through my mind to just gamble it all, and that kind of scares me, and I guess that's why God has revealed a spiritual faith, trust, and equity process for me, and thankfulness and gratefulness, because there's been a handful of days where I just go, I'm going to go on the world tour here. I'm going to go down. We're going to talk to Slow Stay. I'm going to go down. We're going to talk to Tommy. I'm going to go down. We're going to talk to Snafu and Slackcott and everyone else. And we're going to get something on record one way or the other. I don't know why you guys want that. I guess you are demonic. You want to call the worst out of everybody because you want to gamble to see where it goes. I would advise you stop doing it with me for all of our own good, especially when we got so much opportunity to get to so much together. I don't know why you would choose this, other than the demon in you wants to see us all play. You got the right one with me on some level, if I'm ever at a low point.
Here, let me drop a link for all of you out there who have all of these super duper comments. Oh, thanks to Freak for the gifted memberships. Oh, let me see. I think we just missed something here. Oh, there it is.
It's not reaching for something to criticize. You just did it right there with the you. It's patented. It's proven. Every one of you pseudo-intellectuals who thinks you got life figured out or yourself figured out but has little to no result have the same patterns. You're not as individuated as you'd like to believe. But hey, feel free.
Oh boy, it's right, like running a marathon. Just checking chat. Whose we are? Anybody else have anything they'd like to say? How come y'all are speechless? Okay.
There you go.
What did you want me to say? Am I on?
Yeah,
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I know. I speak.
We weren't aware of that. We didn't know.
Well, I just wanted to come on and see how much I care about Chris, and I respect him, and how much I support his cause and what he's doing, and his passion and his drive. And after all that's happened to him, he gets up every day, he goes to work, he loves his kids, and he's a good man. And I'm totally lucky to have met him. And, I'm grateful for him, and I love him. So I'm Chris's hoe.
Well, you're very lucky to have a guy like that in your life.
I am.
Thank
It's been fun since meeting him. Interesting for sure, and meeting all you, and you guys crack me up. All these loser failures on here. Hashtag loser failures.
Hey,
I'm
you
totally
gotta
entertained.
marry this woman, dude. You gotta marry this woman.
Yes.
So keep up the good work. I tune in all the time when I'm at work too. You just don't see me, but I'm there, and I support all you guys.
All right. I just put the
Peace.
banner up just to make sure. Hello. Hello, speak. It must be Snafu.
Wow. The show is finally like moving forward instead of Paul tripping out on your fucking chat and everyone on, you know? So what's the new subject since it's not the Paul show?
You're absolutely obnoxious. You do know that, right?
No, you're absolutely colted. And you licked
No,
the salt off
I'm
his
not.
ball.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You know what? I'd rather actually have a silent broadcast and have you up here fucking, shitting on everybody. Or on Paul or on whoever, whatever. All right, so Nubs is laughing. What's up, Nubs?
Just wanted to let everybody know that we really hate Paul. Let's talk about Paul.
Yeah, now that he's gone, let's talk
Dear
about Paul behind his back.
God.
That's that. Oh
What
yeah,
the
let's
fuck
do
is
that.
wrong with these people?
After 2.5 years, going on 3, let's say it's called lunacy. It's called
No, this is retardation, sir.
mentally insane, mentally retarded. Yes, mentally incapacitated.
No. This is just retarded. It's slowed down behavior to propose a certain narrative.
Dude, it's not slowed down. It's completely stopped. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, sir, the last time I was on here, you were not so nice to me and attempted to rape me, gang rape me, in fact. So I just came up, well, not the last time, the time before that, but I just came up to talk shit on Paul because, that's the big thing today. Go fuck yourself, crew. And yeah, like I said, Special K, you absolutely were cucked up to Paul for the first couple of times, and then he told you the right thing, and all of a sudden your loser failuredom showed up. By the way, congratulations, Chris.
Yes, congratulations. I did say that before, I think.
For what, brother?
What do you mean for what? You already forgot
endeavors.
all the success that you've been going through and all the paperwork
I like
you have.
it. For what?
It shows this guy smokes weed, man. He already forgot, man. It's like,
no,
dude.
he didn't forget. He's just like, what the fuck did I do? I'm just living my life. Would you forget what?
I get really bad PTSD going in these places, though, where the cops beat the shit out of me. And it's just, you go in these places, and I'm on the general attorney's desk. They said they'd never seen a case like this. It's like going in history. It's going to change the cannabis industry, just a whole different thing about the taxes going across county, state, and city lines.
Dude, it's about to go federal. The cannabis industry is about to change for everyone, period. And the one motherfucker who actually works with normal, the people who legalize marijuana in the United States of America. Oh, snap. Yeah. Hey, Nubs, how's all your... Nubs is just a retard. Probably doing some stupid project that no one's paying him for.
Absolutely.
I know.
Absolutely. Nobody's paying me for. They're just giving me what I'm worth.
What are you worth?
You would have to have me come out and work, and then you would find out.
Well, what is your worth on this job? What is your worth on this job you're doing, and what are you doing? What is your worth, and what are you doing?
What I'm doing is a bathroom remodel. And
Let's see it.
As worth.
Let's see it. Let's see it.
Let's see it.
Yeah, you always usually show your work.
Why do you want to see my work so bad, Snafu?
Well, it's always funny looking at your work and then contractors' work, and it's called Ghetto Fab. I would say your work's Ghetto Fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
Ghetto Fabulous. Yep. I'm not downing you fully. Yeah, it's Ghetto Fabulous.
And do you have anything to put on the plate with your Ghetto Fabulous work?
Absolutely. More than most of you guys on this whole internet experience. Absolutely.
Why don't you show it?
Oh, I have. In fact, one dude walked into the house I had, who's on this panel, when Paul says, oh, he's only had an apartment, blah, 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 blah. Brian knows that's not true. But Brian kept his mouth shut because he's a culted one. His daddy was telling the truth, right? Telling everyone how old Snafu lives and what he lives in and what he has and who he's been with and the girls But since Brian knows the truth,
wait,
kept
are you bragging that you're a hoe?
He said, nah, Snaps has a house actually, and a new one now, Brian. I got a new house, bigger actually. But anyways, what's hilarious is he kept his mouth shut.
It's more empty than it was
before. He told Daddy, no, Daddy, you're wrong. You don't know everything about all these people. It would have got bad. So it's funny. The truth is, watching you guys cult over another man, it's really disturbing.
You realize you're the only one talking about him.
I am disappointed in Paul, just like he said he's disappointed in me for allowing you guys to be culted with his. I mean, he's smart. He knows what you guys are doing to him.
What exactly is culted about doing my own thing?
You are pretty culted. Everyone knows you're culted.
You know what, Nubs? You actually made a really good point, right? The only one that actually ever really does talk about Paul up until now
is Snaps.
Is Snaps, right?
Yes, he's his number one.
Right. You guys are culted. You guys think he's the greatest thing on this planet. You guys think he's amazing. He's changing the world and life.
No.
He's a fucking
when we spend our time talking about him and fucking venerating him and and doing fucking like promotional videos for him and stuff like that. I don't know. We'd go all out and we'd literally be servants and slaves. Essentially, this is what you're saying, but none of us do any of that. We just walk. We walk the walk, man.
Like literally none of that. At least on my end.
Jesus.
I've never seen Timmy cuck up to Paul.
I never came at you saying you've gone that way.
Seen you talking
look, what I say,
Paul,
Timmy's more culted
you have his
than
mouth
OTW. Look, you guys have your different
Wait. Say something good, an actual compliment about Paul, just for the fun of it. Just go ahead and do that.
It's gonna be a backhanded compliment.
No, Paul. Okay. It could be backhanded, not backhanded. Paul's very artistically good and linguistically good at talking, but so are politicians and snake oil salesmen. But he's a good talker. He's linguistically he's good, and artistically he's a good talker. He's a good talker, but so are politicians and snake oil.
So you're challenging.
He's a good talker. He's a good talker.
Challenging his integrity. It's laughable.
The word,
No, his integrity
Snap,
talks.
the word that you're looking
Talk,
for
walk.
is speaker.
But what I'm saying is, you guys have different levels of cultness. Like, now Timmy and OTW.
There are
Who's
levels
more
in
cult?
cult.
I would have to ask the audience, who's
Gotta
more
be kidding
culted,
me, right?
Timmy or OTW? That would be a poll to put up. Who's more culted, Timmy or
Why-
OTW?
You don't get to
Because I'm
determine
trying to figure
anything.
that
Timmy,
one out.
OTW, or
Why?
Snafu Snaps.
Why do you think you get to determine anything?
No. You guys.
Why are you incapable? Why are you incapable of just like?
This is what I'm trying to
saying
prove. You guys are so
One second.
culted up.
No. See, there's another point that just been made. You're actually in the opposing cult. If there is such a thing,
Well,
then
we're called the non-cult.
the cult of
We're
haters.
called the non-cult. We're called the ones who don't listen.
You're in the cult of the
We're
haters.
called the ones who stick up for ourselves and say this guy is not better than all of us. This guy is just normal. Like, he uses Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. This guy, Paul and Flynn, uses
But he is better than you. How can you argue that?
He pays his taxes like all of us, whether he says he doesn't or doesn't.
I don't believe he does.
He does. Does he buy fucking?
You have no evidence. You're bearing false witness again. You always do this. He is better than you. Why is it so hard for you to just like? I can say without feeling reservations. Like, I think Paul's a great man. Why is it so fucking hard for you to just say that? You don't think he's a great man? You don't think he's a man? So let's get to the deeper conversation. What is a man, Snafu? You? What's a man? What's honor?
I don't feel he's a great man, Timmy, when he lies and calls all of you, including everyone out there, he's better than everyone else. And he does pay taxes.
He's better than you. He never says he's better than everyone. He's better than you.
No.
He's better than you. How is he not better than you?
The question
he pays taxes. You guys want to ignore the subject of?
Oh my God!
No, he admitted he goes to the dispensary to buy man-made weed.
God, that's fucking sales tax.
Right.
Sales tax and gas tax is not the same thing as fucking signing up with the IRS and sucking their dicks and giving 40%, which you probably do. You guys are fucking insane. It's not the same thing, you fucking morons, to pay 7% once in a while for some bullshit because you haven't gotten around to getting exempt for fucking sales tax. It's not the same thing, Snafu. You're on a government fucking assistance program and you want to equivocate that to paying fucking sales tax. That's insane. It's just fucking laughable. How can you equivocate that as the same thing? Can you explain?
Because you pay taxes, you dumb fuck. What's it called?
It doesn't mean anything.
You pay taxes. You're part of the game. Whether you buy a candy bar or go to a dispensary to buy some class-ass weed, what he does, you pay taxes, you dumb fucks, all of you. Every time you're online.
The question
it's not the same thing. How do you guys do this?
What does it have to do with anything?
He's saying, paying taxes as if those two words together mean something. Like, I once breathed air that wasn't so pure. It was a bit toxic. So now I breathe toxic air every day. Like, you're just saying, paying taxes. Or you paid 1 silver coin to the Jew once. And that's the same thing as paying 40% of everything you earn every year. It's fucking nonsense. That's not true at all. Everything in life is a fucking gradient.
Snafu, who's paying those taxes for all those hospital visits?
I'm not the one claiming I ain't paying taxes. Timmy and all you guys. That's why Timmy's freaking out because he knows he pays taxes every day. Every day, Paul pays taxes. Every day, Timmy pays taxes. Every day, all of
taxes. I don't pay local taxes because I'm not fucking subject to them because I don't have contracts with any of these fucking agencies. So I don't know what the fucking problem is. Why is this so complicated? I don't give away 40% of my
you guys act like you're breaking out of the system when every day you're part of it.
I don't pay 40% of my life force to some fucking third party that I've never met that hasn't given me anything in exchange because I'm not a fucking slave. Can 99.99% of people say the same thing? No, they don't. Why? Because they're scared. Okay? So they're scared. I'm not. Will I go to jail and get hanged one day? Perhaps. It's a possibility. Okay, so you saying that, because I pay sometimes for a gas tax, and that's the same thing as all the slaves taking a knee to the IRS and giving them 40% of their life force. That's laughable. You're a fucking moron. And you're saying, you're acting like you're big and bad and better than everyone else. I'm just saying I'm living my life with less fear and less cowardice. How do you not agree with that? I am better on the ground than you.
You put fuel in your car every day. You use internet like all of us. You're paying taxes. You're part of the system. You're not. You're a slave as much as everyone. For you to think you broke away from the slave shit, that makes you even more.
To say the
is
word
there any
income.
level of gray? Are you more in the system than I?
Can we just help this out after 3 years to just get to an ending here? If we're not all better than you, we like each other better than you. Does that work for you? We would all rather be with each other working together than ever entertain you or deal with you for 3 seconds. So we don't.
You muted yourself again.
I don't know why that's. I think the wire. I got to fix the wire. Nobody has to be inherently better for all of us to agree we like each other better than you and we wouldn't deal with you for 3 seconds in life. And that's your experience all day, every day. Objectively better or not, most people like other people better than you and can't stand you. You're a loser failure. That's it. No one likes you. We're back to middle school. We're on the playground. You're trying to play power games with me. You're saying everyone's culted and cucked to me when they just have a respect for me and what I do. And now I'm turning it on to you. We just don't like you. We don't want to be around you. We don't want to play with you. No one likes you. Do you get it now?
Take the ball and go home.
Right. We're taking the ball and going home, and you're going to follow us home to try to play with us again wherever we go because no one likes you, and you're a loser failure, and you're desperate to try to undo some kind of power dynamic. You see that if it does exist, only exists in truth and mutual respect for that truth.
And then you're going to come and knock on our door on Saturday morning at 7:00 to come and play with us. And when we don't really, we tell
we're going to tell Dad or
Mom,
there. We're not there. Can you go to the door and tell Snafu we're not home so we don't have to see his pathetic face and play with him and share with him again?
Have you seen my baseball?
I slept over at Paul's yesterday.
Have you guys seen my baseball?
That's the only time we encourage to a degree lying or not being completely honest is when bill collectors come around or Snafu wants to play. We're not home. I think that sums it up.
I had to come up and talk shit on you. Oh, and he left. Great stuff. That would probably be a good idea.
Yeah, but that's like the greatest sock account I've ever seen.
So he did say he has a bigger house. I wonder if that was for more people or if it's just bigger and lonelier. Actually, I don't wonder that. I don't care about that.
He could have a government-funded mansion. It doesn't change anything.
Right. That's why I stopped worrying about it real quick.
What would it change if he gets on here with a Lambo driving from out of his mansion garage? Wouldn't with 3 bimbos? Wouldn't change anything.
What would? That's the question.
His presentment, his discernment,
character. Let's just start at let's start with a phone.
In other words, we need to pimp the guy. We need to pimp our Snafu, right?
Yes, he does need proper instruction to motivate people.
Yeah, but no, he needs a makeover, the whole thing. Pimp my car.
This is what reincarnate. He needs reincarnation. This is what death is for. This is why we die and start over.
You guys
because
realize
imagine if we live to 1,000. It's just God's this is ridiculous. This retard Snafu is gonna go another 950 years being like this. Fuck it, dude. Just start over. Come back to the fucking source and get a fucking re-energization. Remember who the fuck you are and what you are.
Everyone report to the Timmy Reincarnation Center.
Yeah, get on this train. There's a camp. Come back to your camp.
You guys do realize his name is Snafu, which means situation normal, all fucked up. Like he's telling you right out of the gate who he is.
So in normal circumstances, his situation is all fucked up. That's
what Snafu stands for. Situation normal, all fucked up. It's a military term.
Yeah, it makes it extra creepy when Snafu could like do a normal broadcast and like extra creepy. It's like, you fucking weirdo. What the fuck are you doing? You're willfully being.
Yeah. I think like any of us only like keep tolerating him is because I mean, I'll speak for myself. On some level, I do respect his tenacity. Like him and Jack Talk are just like insane. Like they don't give up.
They're like the pit bulls that got the gunpowder. They're just kind of dumb, but they keep on going.
It's like a retard's grip. Like, you know, he doesn't know how strong he is.
It's like everything's inverted. If you could take that willpower and point it in the right direction, we could all learn from that. Like, willpower is something I'm trying to understand. It's fucking. But we've all experienced it, I guess, at times where you exert your will, like in a positive sense towards something, and get results. That's a craziness. But you gotta have God.
We will everything, whether good or
that,
bad.
I think for that you need to be in harmony with your surroundings. Like you have to be connected to be able to manipulate the thread that you have, which is that connection with.
I don't think it's a manipulation, dude. I don't think you have to manipulate. It's a coming together with that thread, because that thread is the thread that runs our entire lives.
Right.
Yeah, but you can just put a positive spin on every word. Like you can manipulate in a positive sense, you know, like manipulate the physical reality, you know, like, because that's what I think we got to get back to as a God's language. If we're going to seriously talk about a golden era, we got to get back to a God's language where if you're lying or being dishonorable in any type of way, you stutter and stammer in your speech. So I don't know. That's something to fucking contemplate as well. How do you speak like that? How do we get back to that language? Like if you're doing a business transaction, you can't cheat the other person without stuttering and stammering. What is that?
But it has a lot to do with body language, eye contact.
That's true.
A lot of things involved.
Communication. Wow, dude. Yeah, stutter, stammering. So yeah, I guess the words really ain't that important, right? Yeah, I guess.
There's 80% of it is the oral and optical. You know, the presentment, the whole
nonverbal.
Right. Exactly.
That's crazy. So it's weird when we have just the voices right now. It's like that's kind of a weird dynamic when we're just the cameras off.
Right, because you only get 20%.
But I guess you're still recovering it through the presentment of the voice itself, right? How much passion's behind it. You could almost put the pieces together of the visual. You know what I mean?
Well, there's forms of energy that are being transmitted, and I guess you can feel the intensity, the passion that's being projected. But it's much easier to read a person when you can see them. So you see their facial.
Probably the same thing though. It's only 20% of what we're actually saying, and the rest is sort of like how we're saying it, almost like physically. Because what do we say? It's indirect communication. It's not exactly the words. It's how, just like how you think. It's not what you think. It's how you think.
Well, that's essentially one of the reasons, because usually what happens is to detect lying is what's coming out of that person's mouth doesn't align or synchronize with the body language.
Like if you're in a courtroom, dude, and you say something and that shit's true, like that, you're talking about moving a courtroom or speaking in the type of way that you're saying. Like, you know what I mean? You might get a judge that's going to straight railroad you, but I'm just saying, in like a situation where there's somewhat fairness going on, or you could because that's the thing I think about, dude. We reach out to everyone in the room. Okay, prosecutor, even though you shouldn't be saying anything, you have no firsthand knowledge. Well, aren't you going to agree man to man, like what the fuck I'm saying? I mean, the shit would never probably play out, but like, I don't know, in like an ideal situation, like you just look around the room, everyone in it. Isn't everyone in this room going to agree what I'm saying is true? You know what I mean? And you get the whole room on your side and just logic and reality, bro. Like, are we all going to deny reality here? Like, you know what I mean? Maybe that's like a movie.
That's why the titles can't be there, because then they don't have to agree, right? When they're there as a prosecutor, as judge, or in their titles, that's why they don't. That's why they're not going to say, "Yeah, I agree" as a man, because they're not there as a man.
Outside of this uniform, I'm a completely different person.
I'll never forget.
What the fuck? Outside of this robe, hey, bro. I gotta do what I gotta do right now, but outside of this robe, y'all,
hey, them classic words, right there.
It's literally how they live, dude. You're getting buck wild outside of that fucking uniform and robe. Fucking weirdos. Decadent
Essentially,
lifestyle.
they're the complete opposite of what they represent when they're in uniform.
Yeah, even the nice, humble, quote unquote guy. Hey, man, we're just enforcing the laws on paper. You know, just the old. We're just doing what we got, told to do. You know, like not the same, dude. We fucking. That's why I told them, like, we got to get away from the paper and just get to our gut instincts. I mean, that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, when I have this like vision of being in a courtroom, just being like, yo, we're all just gonna let this happen. We're all not just gonna use logic right now and understand right from wrong. There's no injured party here. Anyone know that? Like, one of those types of scenarios. No one on the other side. We're gonna let some invisible enemy just fucking railroad the fuck out of me, huh? We're all gonna do. Well, you can't do that in front of a certain judge. He'll never let you get 4 words out. You gotta have a certain situation. Fuck my ram, I'm yapping over here. God damn it, Chris Rasta. Put that woman back on. I need to tell her I need a fucking... When you get locked up, she's gonna need a fucking hiking professional. Keep her safe in the wilderness.
This is good stuff, O'Shea. I like it. It's true. It is. Like, they're not there. Like, there's no men in the room. And all these, like, we watch these videos and all the titles try to make the man seem crazy. It's because they're acting as Monopoly pieces, literally, as titles. And there's a man literally just like yelling into an open room, like an empty room. And then the titles are like talking to him and like trying to gaslight him into being one of the legal fictions. It's like literally what's happening. And it's the same thing what happens all around us in our lives. In our families, everybody's acting as the inauthentic corporate people. And if you act as a fucking human or man or woman or a young one, they look at you with something wrong with you, right?
Yeah, bro. Like, I'm looking around this park right now and all these people, and it's like you get a thing. Like, if you would all just snap out of it, like it's over. Like, we have all the power. Like, we are the ones or whatever. We're doing this to each other. Like, you fucking idiots. I feel like I'm having a deja vu moment. Like, I've had this fucking speech before.
That's why, there's nothing like, I don't even feel like I don't even really feel angry with these idiot cops, because it's like, it's almost like, in the old times when somebody would invade a town and then like the whole town gets razed and all the women and children get murdered. It's like, on some level you can go, oh, well, those women and children were innocent. But then, another perspective, and again, I'm not picking a side. I'm not saying it's right to murder women and children. But on the other hand, it's like those women and children were supporting that king. Right? Even indirectly, like they were living in the castle, right? So they chose to stay. So what the fuck am I saying? I'm saying it's the same thing today. If you have retarded quote unquote courts that have become private, they're private, they're dual jurisdiction, they're private, they're public. You got retarded cops. 100 cops in a town of 50,000, and all the cops are absolute morons. Whose fault is this? It's only the cops' fault. Who's hiring these cops? Who allows them to exist? And I'm not saying to do violence. I'm just saying, like, who's accepting all of this? Who's signing up for the papers? Who keeps calling them for protection?
Well, essentially, they're just another organization. They're just another private company that basically are paid by and I don't even believe they're paid by the taxes. I think taxes go somewhere else. And
whatever that Washington D.C. is,
they're under a strict budget. And it's probably other private entities that pay for it.
It's a
not
security
necessarily
force, bro.
the government.
The King's security army, bro. It goes back to the oldest. That's what armies were, bro. They weren't like the people. It was like these foreigners who, like, you paid. They were big, strong motherfuckers, and you just paid their ass to fucking be the army. Fucking that's. I mean, yeah. Now they're more of a feminine.
Back in the day, they would pay them with food and housing and clothing and a status, and
Yeah. Whatever it took, bro. People would show up. They would be fucking. They could fight, and they'd fucking show up in big groups. Yeah, this is what we did. That was a profession, bro. Like, just like the military, but like, it was different, bro. Like, but yeah, that's all it is. You just look at them wearing they're wearing a Walmart outfit, bro. That's really what it is. I mean, the United States is just Walmart, dude. Whatever that District of Columbia shit is, it's just Walmart, and they paid. I mean. But that's what Kings used to do, bro. Kings became Walmart. Kings became corporate. I guess there could be honorable kings and leaders, and we'll probably have something like that in our community, like some sort of leadership. But I think there's a natural king. Like I said, once you have that back to language, like, we don't understand, bro. What if the world snapped in from an Iron Age to a Golden Age? Do we even know what type of effect that is? Not everyone comes, bro. No, masses and massive don't come, so they gotta go somehow. I don't know where they're going, how they're leaving. Maybe it had something to do with what they all let themselves get injected with. But not probably like 99% ain't coming, dude. If we snap from an Iron Age to a Golden Age, there's barely any souls that are, whatever the word is, qualified or deserve to be there or will be there, just by the way the world works. And they're gonna repopulate probably from that. I don't know, bro. That's what I think. It feels like that's what's about to happen. We're gonna snap into a Golden Age, bro. Lose most people and souls. We're gonna have peace on Earth for a little bit, but
the chat is very confused.
Yeah, the who is going like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I might not have connected all the dots, but like, I just go by my gut instincts, bro. Like you say, you correlate it, how you live to like scriptures and shit. Well, I have a gut instinct that we're going to snap into a Golden Age. Now, if you probably start looking at the stars and all this, and be like, oh my God, there's going to be an alignment coming here soon. Yeah, it kind of makes sense because I kind of had a prophetic fucking sort of intuitional, thoughts that like, this is how it works. You know what I mean? You're only you keep acquiring data. I keep acquiring data on this world and how bizarre people are. Acquiring data. And it's pushing me to these conclusions, to these theories. This is what it feels like to me. I don't know about all y'all or what you guys got going on.
I think Jack Talcott would say, get out of your imagination, brother.
Hey, imagination, imagine that. It's like pulling a rabbit out of a hat, because magic is part of imagination, part of that root word magi. That's what they used to call the magi in the Orlinda book. They were the priests. Black magic phones, the obelisk, whatever that thing is in Planet of the Apes, this black thing we're holding. This black cube, Saturn.
Golden shower age.
Piss, dude. Dude, piss is gold. It's literal gold, dude. Aged piss. If you have 300-year-old piss and you put your feet in it, it's the cure. It's the fountain of youth, you fucking idiot losers. It's literally gold. Just piss in a jar and put it in a warehouse and just let it sit. It's like wine, dude. It's like the most valuable thing. I have it at my disposal, dude. The government collects it from you guys for free. You just piss in the tubes for them and let them collect it for free.
What do they do with it?
I don't know. I'd store it though. If you guys could give me piss, dude, I'll pay you guys for piss. Some Filipinos, get on it, dude. Let's get an operation. Piss jugs,
dude. You You should put a little spy camera down a sewer or toilet or something and see where maybe there's like a fountain of youth down in the dumps, in the deep underground military bases. For all that's where they're storing all the piss. That's what all the psyops are for, to distract you away from the. They're actually. That's how do you think they're able to live so long? I have the documents, adrenochrome and piss.
That these fuckers are actually 300-400, but they bathe and piss every night. It's fucking Benjamin Button.
Do you have a piss cache? Like a cache of piss somewhere?
Dude, if there's warehouses of piss, do you know how valuable that is? The older the better. If this guy's like, I got 3,000-year-old, you know what gets better with age? It's it's an alchemical thing within itself. With age, it only gets better and better. How many things in life are like that? That only get better with age?
God, guns, gold, and piss. Right? GGGP.
Does wine get better? But wine only gets better to a certain point, then it gets rancid again, right? It's never good forever. Well, honey's good forever. You could eat honey forever. But I'm talking about as a medicinal quality. It gets better, like stronger, better medicine with age, dude. That's crazy talk. So what an investment, dude. But it's its own investment. Just put it in a jug, put it away, and bam, it's just acquiring wealth as it just sits there, dude. What a beautiful, and it came out of you, dude. What a beautiful thing, dude. What easy money. It's easy money, dude. Does money grow on trees? No. It comes out of my...
Sort of.
It fucking comes... Yeah, whatever, dude. Yeah, the trees give me CO2 so I could piss, stay alive. They piss in some way, don't they? I don't know. They piss CO2. They shit and piss CO2. Truth, the one language, stuttering and stammering. But we already got, I guess you kind of already get there when you look between the lines and you figure this shit out, right? You could tell. Like you're talking about, you get someone in front of you and they, like, right? Like Paul would be really good, probably the best at that out of us. Like, he's like a fucking lie detecting machine. So the one language, dude. Is it beyond words? What the fuck is one language? Stuttering and stammering when you're lying. They said the priest developed the second language to fuck with children, dude. To fuck with boys. And they also fucked with it. They developed it in the market. Like Jewy type people, Jewish kind of people, being like conniving, like whittling their fingers. And then they had the second language in the market to fucking Jew you out of your fucking, like, when you're doing the converting currencies and shit. They developed a second little language to fucking be schemy and deviant. And all mountains are melted brick buildings. I'm looking at these fucking mountains in Denver, dude. That's a fucking, all mountains are melted brick buildings. I don't know, maybe it's just opulence. That's what happens when you get greedy, overly opulent, decadent. This world has a mechanism where it melts it all. And it's like, you just can't get away with being overly decadent. Like, they must have had robots or slaves just building brick buildings everywhere. The Lord was like, nope, melt that shit. You guys are freaking the fuck out. Look at these fools, dude. Doing a rough end of the show.
Brian O'Shea, everyone.
Yo. Melt and build. Oh, this beat sucks. Oh, got me. The fuck are you doing, you fucking retard? The fuck am I on?
That was for you, Brian.
Moment of silence? Oh, the rap beat?
Well, no, the alien.
Missed it.
Oh. Oh. Ah, I beheaded all three of them. All right. I guess that'll be it for today, guys. I will be heading on out of here. Much love and respect. Thank you, everybody, for coming and having a great conversation. Great broadcast. Great chat. Great everything. Also the supporters. So, yeah, that being said, OTW signing out for today. Coming at you from the belly of the beast. Peace.